Hey guys, and welcome back to Brexit. Brexit England, Northern Ireland and Eastern Europe. And just like that, England has become the most racist country in the world overnight. I'm going to leave Ireland, Scotland and Wales out of this because I'm quite sure that they are not involved. Overnight, England, the most racist country in the world. England has decided it is going to send brown people, refugees, can't come here. You must go to Rwanda. They're going to send them to Rwanda for processing. Because you see, in England, we have bombs and bullets for brown and black people. You're not welcome here. Persona non grata. Don't come here. And also, welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages sent me, and a special thanks to everybody who signed up to my channel. We're so blessed with so much people that have signed up, so thank you so much for that. I'll go through all your messages. I'll answer as many as I can, but I will like all the messages for definite. Yesterday we've had the sentencing of that fool that went and decided he was going to go and murder the MP in Scotland, in Southend, and he was given a whole life sentence. But it was very interesting because he was like, because he went not guilty, and I was like, oh, okay, well, let's see what's going on with this brother now, right? And I thought, well, considering that he was tackled by two police officers, right, in the MP's surgery, right, with a bloody knife in his hand, I was like, well, I just want to know what kind of defence he's going to come up with. If he's going to say, well, no, someone else done it, and then what they was doing when they run out the room, they gave him the knife and then run out a back door, and then those police officers came in and he was just there with the knife. I mean, that's what I would have went for. If I was stood there with a bloody knife, I'd go, oh, yeah, well, what is that? And they said, well, but there's not even a back door. Yeah, but it was kind of a crazy defence, kind of a stupid defence. I don't even know what kind of defence it was. But then again, he was given a whole life sentence. But I believe he would have got that, yeah, even without, right, trying to say, well, it wasn't me. Because I don't know, I don't know, you know, because I haven't read into the case, but I do know that he pled not guilty. And the only thing I can think of, if you're pleading not guilty, then you're saying, well, I didn't do this, right? You're not pleading saying, well, you know, I done it, but it was an accident. It was manslaughter. You know, or, you know, I've gone in there and the MP, he's attacked me with the knife, right, and I've taken it off and killed him with it. I mean, that's your defences. I mean, other than that, you know, I don't understand how you're going to like explain the body behind you, right, that's just been stabbed, right, with the knife that you've got in your hand. Don't see what kind of defence you're using. So it seems that Britain overnight, right, has decided it's going to become the world's most racist country, taking the title away from Australia, because that's where they've got these tactics from. These tactics has come directly from Australia, right? For them to say, you know what we're going to do, right, is, was it yesterday, right, that I said, I'm just trying to think back now, because I'm sure it was just, but I did hit, I'm sure I must have hit my head in the accident, but I'm sure that it must have been, I'm sure it was yesterday, I think it was, right, that I said, yeah, that you don't even have to look for the racism. Right. So while you've got all the debacle about the Ukrainian refugees, they know, right, that they're so confident of how racist, right, their supporters are in this country, that they can announce that they're going to send brown refugees, right, to a country, right, that is in the top, I'm sure the top 6 of the poorest in the world, where less than 57% of the people have access to running water. and they're going to send all the brown and black refugees there. The white ones can come over here, and the government will give, residents of this country money to look after them. Say, oh no, you come here, we'll look after you. The brown ones, oh no, we have a bomb and we have bullets for them. We have phosphorus weapons that we can launch and give to them, but there's no shelter for them. We cannot shelter brown and black people. The people of this country won't like it, right? It's a different culture. It's a different culture. It's a clash of cultures. They won't like it. They don't want to see brown and black people in their faces like that. How disgusting is this country? When the government just nods and says, well, it's easy. We can just deal with that. The reason why, the Tories have always used brown and black people is so that those people can do their dirty work for them. Because let me tell you, there is not one white politician in this country, right, that would ever do what Priti Patel is doing. Not one. And that's the reason why, I'm constantly calling these people out, like Priti Patel. This is the reason why. Because she can get away with things, right, that a white politician wouldn't even go near. You think a white politician would start rounding up a load of brown and black people, and deporting them, or sticking them on planes or boats to send them to Rwanda for processing? Well, wouldn't it be easier just to say, well, what we're going to do is we're going to set up the processing centre in France? Because it's going to cost, around £4 billion a year, right, for them to do the whole Rwanda thing, right? And you've got to realise, right, that if you was to spend that much money, right, you could house those people and send their children to Eton. That is how racist this country really is, right? That you're prepared to say, oh no, you know what, we'd sooner lose billions of pounds to not have these people in our face. Billions and billions of pounds. And you see, it's actions from people like Priti Patel who can get away with this type of thing. Believe me, all the Tories, all the Tory ministers, and the MPs, they're all behind it. They're all behind it, but right, secretly, they're behind it secretly. But out in the open, they'll, a lot of them they'll question it. Like people like David Davis, they'll question it. It's terrible. But then, when it comes down to the vote, they'll all vote together. Because they could right now just say to the government, well, listen, all the backbenchers could just write to the government and say, well, listen, on this we're not going to back you. We're going to vote with Labour. So if you put this through, you're going to lose the vote. And then then they would know to themselves, well, actually we can't do this, because if we do, we will end up losing the vote. That's what will happen. Right, there'll be no vote to be had if they know that all their backbenchers are going to go against them. But they know that all their backbenchers back them up. It goes with everything else. If it comes down to voting against disabled people's rights, the Tories all vote together. You might have a few of them say, oh, it's terrible, oh, it's shocking, terrible. But they still all vote together against all these things, and they've done that consistently. Right? You look at someone like Jacob Rees-Mogg's voting record. Right? You had someone like what's his name? That fool that wrote Cats. Right? Andrew Lloyd Webber. Right? You had someone like him fly back from America, right, to come back and purposely vote against, right? Giving, I think it was disabled people, like, a few extra pounds, right? Because he's a lord, and he purposely come back, and so this is who these people are. These people, right? They don't care, right? But what they do is they just feed the right wing, because that's who That's who this is. You're talking about, your Caucasian right wing. That's who you're talking about. And those people are so racist. It doesn't matter, right, what state the country is in, so long as there's, they've got someone who seems to be sticking it to brown and black people. They're good. They're good with that. They're good with a prime minister who's a common criminal, right? Been fined, right? And they're looking, at the moment, they're looking into another 5 or 6 parties, right? That they know that Boris Johnson has attended, right? So it just depends on whether or not the police are going to give him any more fines. But you had all the Tory MPs yesterday. None of them could come out and say, well, yes, the Prime Minister's wrong. They're all dancing around the issue. And you think to yourself, these are supposed to be some of the most educated people in the country. That's what they're supposed to be. Don't laugh, because that's what they're supposed to be. That's what these are. Some of the most educated people in the country, right? And they're twisting themselves in knots, right? To lie for someone who is a criminal, a cheat, right? A COVID, right? Finee, right? So it just makes me laugh how these people are just twisting themselves up like fools, just completely twisting them up like fools. But you see, Britain is really showing its true colours. It's really showing exactly who it is. We're getting a full profile, right, of the level of racism that we can see in this country. I mean, at the in Ukraine, they've got specialist police officers down there, right, looking out for men, right, who are looking to basically, get women and their children, right, away from the others into their cars. So, oh yeah, we want to help you. We're here to give you aid, and then take them off and get up to all sorts. You know how these type of people are, and I think that's the same type of thing. Why a lot of these right wing, men are so quick to say, well, look, it's all men when they're black and brown, because what they're really looking to do, they're looking for the women, right, so they can take the women and rape them. This is a problem that they've already got with the Ukrainians, and that's the reason why they're so quick to say to the Ukrainians, oh yeah, you come, yeah, you, because they know, right, that it's mainly women and children. So they want to come bring them over into their dens over here, right, so they can get up to all sorts, right, because that is who these people really are. That's who they really are, and I think that's one of the other issues, right, as to why they're so good to have the Ukrainians come over, but oh no, we don't want those brown people because they don't allow their women to come over so we can rape them. Another reason, so this country here overnight has become the world's most disgusting, right? Because remember, in Australia they was doing this. The same thing, to I think the Vietnamese boat people, right? And you say, well, Australia, right, a country, right, that have got farms that are bigger than England, and a country that they've stolen. They went there, right, and they murdered the inhabitants in that country. They went there and they murdered them all to steal the country. A country so large, right, that farmers need a plane to fly over their land. And a Caucasian country who says, oh no, we don't want brown people. In fact, we don't want brown people, black people to come in. No, you can't come here. We haven't got enough room. How insensitive have you got to be? How racist have you got to be in Australia and say, well, you can't come here. We have a lack of space for immigrants. When you've stolen a country, you've murdered the people to steal their country, and then you've got the cheek to say to people, well, you can't come here. All of these all of these Western countries seem to be like, the right wing, right, seem to have a real racist handle on all of these countries, all these Western countries, countries that have been stolen by the very people that I am living in this country with. Stolen. And these people have got the audacity to tell other people, well, you can't come here. Australia, you can't come here. America, you can't come here. All, if you notice, right, where's the base? Where's the base for all of those people? Where's the base? Right here is the base. So it's no wonder that this country is the one that would say to people, you know what, actually, we will openly let the whole world know that we do not want any brown people or black people coming here. Don't come here. Another reason why this country was voted for Brexit. All about foreigners again, and they will tell you how racist this country is, and they'll say, oh, no, this country's not racist. But you voted, right, to keep foreigners out. Right? You voted, right, against your own freedom of movement. You removed your own freedom of movement. Right? That is how racist you are. Right? And this is, all of you Brexiters, all you people who voted for Brexit, right? That's how racist you are. Right? You are the world's most fascist, racist in the world. Nobody can take that title away from you now. Okay? You now you're happy with brown and black refugees being sent away after you voted to lose your own freedom of movement to keep foreigners away. Do you think that you have any compassion? I mean, a lot of you people claim to be religious, but I would say that that God would say, well, turn the other cheek. You would say, no, turn the other cheek to me so I can shoot you in it. I think that would be more the attitude of the people of this country. This country, right, is the worst ever in the world. It's actually worse than Nazi Germany, right? Because at least, right, you knew, and they would admit, the Nazi Germans, they would admit who they was. This country tries to pretend, oh no, we are a modern progressive society, but we just don't want any brown people or people that don't speak in a different language to us. That's it. We just don't want them. Modern progressive nothing, right? This country is the worst of the worst of the worst, right? And if you think about, I mean, you realise right now, right? Britain needs the world to be at war. They're glad with the war in Ukraine because it puts Britain at centre stage. But the minute the war in Ukraine is finished, Britain is going to be in the middle of Wembley with a full stadium in the middle of the green, right? Naked. They're going to be standing there as a skinny little white boy, completely naked. That's what they're going. Because that's where they're going to be. Because you take away the war in the Ukraine, and where do you think Britain's standing is in the world? It's a nothing country after that. Britain is a complete and utter nothing country. So Britain now needs, Russia to start, going to, head into Poland and heading. So they start a NATO thing, because that's the only standing that Britain is going to have in the world if the world goes to war. Because other than that, Britain is an absolutely nothing country, right? The people, right? The rest of the world hate the people in this country, right? Trade-wise, right? They're going to get slaughtered trade-wise, right? There's, there's what they've got thousands of trucks stacked up at Dover right now, right? The whole export trade industry is on the floor, it's on its face. So where do you think Britain is going to be without the world being at war? Britain now needs the whole world to be at war. It needs that, because it needs that for the next 10, 15, 20 years. It needs conflict. It's got to have conflict, because otherwise Britain is going to be just looked at as a complete and utter nothing country, just like it is, just like the people of this country, right? They're filth. Right? What I'm talking about. I'm talking about the right wing. The right wing are just filth. Right? They are just a disgusting set of people, right? And it's those are the people who have brought us Brexit, and those are the same people who want to send brown and black refugees to Rwanda. What a nation to be. A disgusting, racist, xenophobic, bigoted bunch of idiots. I've gone well over my time and I haven't even spoke about no Brexit. This is By Any Means Necessary. I'm DMC John Ribbs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.